Liseberg is the premier amusement park in all of Sweden, and I can make a strong case that it's the best pure amusement park in all of Europe. This park has an amazing atmosphere, fantastic operations, and a loaded ride lineup. This review will cover everything you need to know about the park and explain why it should be on your bucket list. In 1952, Johan Anders Lamberg named the hill on the property Liseberg, or Lisa's Mountain, after his wife. And to address the elephant in the room about the pronunciation, when you say the name in Swedish, the G at the end is silent. In 1908, the city of Gothenburg purchased the property. In 1923, this was turned into the Liseberg Amusement Park. It opened as part of the World's Fair to celebrate Gothenburg's 300th anniversary. Over the next century, the park continued to grow. While it is landlocked by the city, they have creatively and efficiently used their space to now offer 42 rides, including 7 different roller coasters. Like many city parks, they have had to remove some favorites throughout the years when they want to add something new. But they have always added something bigger and better. Whenever they have removed a roller coaster, they have opened a new one within a year. For example, the park removed the classic Berry Banan side friction coaster in 1987, but not before they opened Liseberg Banan. Their Vekoma inverted boomerang named Hangover was closed after the 2002 season, but the park opened Balder the following year. Then most recently, the Kanonen hydraulic launch coaster was removed in 2017 and it was replaced by Valkyria the following year. Other times, they have built rides over and around each other. This is best exemplified on the big hill in the back of the park. There, you will see rides like Liseberg Banan and Helix winding over different rides and pathways. It is mesmerizing looking towards the hill, seeing all the different rides cycling. It is an exciting mess of coaster track and flat rides going every which way. One of the biggest strengths about Liseberg is the atmosphere. I love the overall feel of this park. As I mentioned at the start, this is more of an amusement park than a theme park, but the park has some lightly themed areas. The main entrance in Midway has an old-timey vibe to it. Rabbit Land is a colorful kids area built around the park's mascot. There's a boating and dock-themed area by the creek. There's a Norse mythology area over by Balder. There's a small indoor area with atmosphere and Helix that has an industrial vibe to it. Then there's the park's newest area in Luna Park. This is a retro area merging elements of science fiction and classic amusement parks into one. All of these areas are beautiful. The rides are still the focal points rather than any individual theming element, but each area is clean and well presented. Then there are 2 other aspects that add a ton to the park. First, there's the large wooded hill in the back of the park. This stands roughly 9 to 10 stories tall. Having a hill like this would be notable for any park, especially one located in a city. How many other parks in a downtown area can you think of that have terrain elements like this? You honestly forget you're in a city when you walk through parts of this. It feels more like you're in a forest. And if you are worried about having to climb a grueling hill, no need to fret. The park has multiple escalators available, some by Helix and others by Luna Park. Second, you have Gothenburg itself. The park's tallest rides offer stunning views of the surrounding buildings. This also makes the park readily accessible by public transit. This is how I have always navigated my way throughout Sweden. Liseberg is just a 1-mile walk or trolley ride from Gothenburg Central train station. This can connect you to Sweden's other major cities, and if you're a coaster enthusiast like myself, the country's other amusement parks. The park is also just a 25-minute bus ride from the Gothenburg airport. If you arrive by car, you'll need to use a nearby garage. There are 3 issues with this though. 1. This is costly. The nearest one costs 25 Swedish krona, or just over $2 per hour. Second, availability could be an issue on busy days. Third, car theft is a known issue in the area. If you have valuables, Liseberg has paid lockers, or there's a luggage storage service inside the park for 30 krona, or just under $3. Alternatively, most rides will let you store your belongings on the load platform. The one exception is Valkyria. On that ride, bags must go in a paid locker. This is a pretty rare practice for a European park, and it shocked a lot of locals. You can also book a hotel near the park. There are many within walking distance, and they may even include parking or luggage storage options as well. This is what I always do because the park is open late most days. Unlike most European parks that close by 5 or 6 p.m., Liseberg is typically open until 10 p.m. If you want the best possible Liseberg experience, I recommend staying at the park's Grand Curiosa Hotel. This is way more affordable than most on-site accommodations at other theme parks, as you can get rooms as low as 1,600 krona or $150. This is a beautifully themed hotel. Rooms are spacious for a European city hotel, and many offer nice views of the park. And an overnight stay comes with a breakfast buffet in the morning. Then there are several special amenities. First, there's a carousel that you can ride adjacent to the restaurant. Second, there's a spiral slide taking you from the upper levels of the hotel right down to the lobby. Third, there's a rooftop bar offering amazing views overlooking the park. You don't even have to be a hotel guest to go up there either. Fourth, you get early entry into Liseberg. When I stayed there this past year, all guests can enter the Luna Park area 1 hour early. I was able to get multiple laps in the park's newest coaster in Luna with absolutely no wait. The hotel does not include park admission though. General admission costs 95 to 180 krona, or $9 to $16 depending on the day. Rates are higher in the peak summer months. This only grants access to the park and not the rides. Admission and a rides pass cost 365 to 600 krona, or $33 to $54 depending on the day. Rates are once again higher in the summer. There also are reduced fares for evening tickets. Then the park also offers discounted rides passes targeted towards kids, valid only on attractions in Rabbitland. This costs 195 to 390 krona, or $18 to $36 depending on the day and the child's height. Given the park's quality and ride offerings, I think the prices are more than fair, and it's nice they have the walk-around pass for those not interested in rides. But I think most people will want the rides pass. This park is an incredible lineup of coasters and non-coasters. The rides complement each other so well. Let's start with the coasters. This park has 7 of them spanning all the different thrill levels. The best of the bunch is Helix. This mock multi-launch coaster is exceptional. This coaster is a long, windy layout over that aforementioned hill. The ride has some intense airtime moments, particularly in the largest camelbacks. Then there are 7 inversions, most of which will also lift you out of your seat. Then the pretzel loop offers crushing positive Gs to contrast. The one con with this coaster is that the launches are extremely weak, but everything else is top-notch, including the epic soundtrack. This is a favorite of mine, and I have an entire review going more in depth. The best coaster purely for airtime is Balder. This is an intimate prefabricated wood coaster. It has a repetitive layout, almost to a fault. There are 1 or 2 airtime hills followed by a turnaround. Those turns are admittedly dull, but the airtime hills are fantastic. Each one offers strong and semi-sustained ejector airtime. It was never rough to begin with, but it's especially smooth now after its recent retrack. Do not expect the sheer intensity of El Toro, but as I noted in my review, the quantity of negative Gs is impressive. Valkyria is a B&M dive coaster. It begins with a vertical drop with great floater airtime. Then the layout is faster paced than most other coasters in the genre. There is no mid-course brake run, and this one stays closer to the ground. And the 3 inversions are great as well. The Immelman has good positive Gs, the 0G roll has surprising laterals, and the final inline twist offers oodles of hang time. Liseberg Banana is the park's oldest operating coaster, and it's the perfect family ride. This is another one that winds its way along the hill. The scenery and visuals make the ride memorable. This ride was designed by Anton Schwarzkopf, so it's not too surprising this coaster offers good positive Gs at most turns and valleys. And there are a few nice pops of airtime as well. Luna is the park's newest coaster. This is a Vekoma family boomerang, and its placement atop the hill is brilliant. You get great views from the initial lift hill and some of the following turns. The forces are mild as you'd expect, but it is fun having the backwards element to end the experience. Then there are two smaller coasters geared mostly for kids. Both are smooth, and adults are allowed to ride as well. Ribalda is the larger of the two. Then Stampenon simply consists of a small compact spiral. On that note, this park is an extensive collection of kids' rides. There are nearly 20 rides and attractions targeted more towards younger guests. Some are exclusively for kids, but most can comfortably be experienced by adults as well. Moving on to the larger flat rides, this is another area where Liseberg really shines. The park has 5 standout flat rides for thrill seekers. Loki is an Intamin gyro swing. Intamin makes the best frisbee rides in my opinion. The restraints are more open, allowing for more negative Gs. The multitude of max swings offer very strong and sustained floater airtime, and the pullouts offer good positive Gs on the downswings. Upswingin' is another pendulum ride, specifically an S&S Screamin' Swing. This one has a unique location on a platform on the hill, so you get some stunning views swinging over the edge. Then the max swings offer nice floater airtime, and this one has a slightly longer cycle than most other installations. Aerospin is a Gerstlauer sky roller. This is also perched atop the hill, so you get beautiful views of the city and park. Then you can use the paddles to invert your gondola. The rotational speed was dampened recently, so unfortunately, it is harder to flip unless your technique is perfect. I'm still able to get a dozen inversions, but I need to work hard for them. Atmosphere is the park's tallest ride. This was once an observation tower, but Intamin converted it into a 381-foot, or 116-meter tall drop tower. And since it's also atop the hill, you can see for miles in each direction. The drop is strong too. It lasts forever, and you float the whole way down. This ride also offers virtual reality, but I think it's far better being able to appreciate the sheer heightened view without the VR. Finishing the quintet of thrilling flat rides is Mechanica. This is a rare Zier star shape. The ride is not as wild as it looks though. It doesn't quite offer airtime, nor did I get any full flips, but I got some semi-violent rocking and awesome views overlooking the park. Speaking of views, if you want to take them in at a more leisurely pace, the park has the colossal Liseberg Schulet Ferris wheel. This is a more upscale installation typically found in touristy areas with fancier cabins. This ride stands a whopping 200 feet or 60 meters tall, so you get some spectacular views of the park and surrounding area. Then the park also has a collection of spinning rides if you want to get dizzy. Moving on to the dark rides, this park has 2 experiences well worth checking out. You just need to make sure you don't miss them. They look pretty nondescript. First is Underlanded. This is located by the windmill in Rabbitland. It's a whimsical dark ride to a magical place. The ride feels a tad childish, but the scenes are very well done. They are fully fleshed out with physical props and animatronics. And the ride's soundtrack is infectious. It is worth noting this ride had a lot of short breakdowns on my recent trip, so keep an eye on its availability in the app. Second is Gaston Ghost Hotel. This is a year-round haunt, and it's not an upcharge like many parks. The set pieces are excellent, as you have a fully themed hotel. There are plenty of actors, some take their time to have extended interactions, while others are 100% there to scare you. And there are some surprise physical effects as well, such as unstable flooring to keep you on your toes. Then this park has 2 notable water rides. One is Flume Ride. This is an aero log flume traveling high up the hill. Then the ride culminates in 2 sizable and zippy drops back to back. I have heard this ride was slated for removal after the 2023 season, but it's still listed on the park's website, so hopefully they changed course and want to keep this wonderful water ride around. 2 is Colorado. This is an Intamin River Rapids ride. The rapids in this one don't get you too wet, and mostly bob the boat, but there are some sprayers in the second half that'll get your upper body wet, while keeping your shoes dry. Liseberg was also planning to open an indoor water park this year known as Oceana. This would have included a handful of exciting slides, including a large water coaster. Unfortunately, there was a tragic fire in February that heavily damaged the building. Liseberg plans to rebuild the park, but it will take time. Beyond the rides, What else does this park have? There are plenty of games as you walk down the midway, and the park includes a concert venue as well. This is an extra fee if there's a musical act on schedule, but the park has gotten some large bands in the past like ABBA and even Led Zeppelin. As you may expect, Liseberg draws sizable crowds, particularly in the summer months. Their annual attendance approaches 3 million people. Thankfully, this park has amazing operations. The largest coasters all run multiple trains, some even run 3 or 4 at once to keep lines moving. Then crews work fast to load guests and dispatch their rides. This is why queue lines are not too bad even on busy days. Helix often has the worst wait at 45 to 60 minutes, which is understandable given that's the park's headlining attraction. The other major coasters usually have 20 to 40 minute waits. Then some of the popular non-coasters can get 20 to 30 minute waits as well. So how should you attack this park? There are a few things to consider. First, there's a single rider line in Valkyria. Even when that coaster's standby line was 30 to 45 minutes, single rider was never more than 10 minutes. Second, queue lines here will close early. The park wants to send the last cycle right at park closing. So if a ride has a half-hour wait, they will close the line a half-hour early. It is also worth noting a few rides may have different hours than what the park does. This is listed on the individual ride page on the app. For example, Underland it specifically closed a few hours before the park did this past summer. Third, this park is an amazing and free virtual queue system. This is available for the park's largest coasters and non-coasters. Understanding how to use this is the key to maximizing your day. Anyone physically inside the park can use the virtual queue. It uses your device's location, so it's advantageous to have cell service throughout the whole park. But if you don't, the park offers free Wi-Fi on one end of the park. You can reserve one ride at a time. You get a 10-minute window to return to the ride. It is worth knowing that you physically have to be through the virtual queue lane and scan into the attraction before your time expires. Once you scan in, you can book another ride. You can either book a different one or book the same ride over and over again. Times are constantly being replenished, so keep on refreshing until a ride and time you like becomes available. From what I saw, Helix was the hardest virtual queue reservation to snag, but usually one would come up every 5 minutes if I kept on refreshing, and it was so worth it because it saved the most time on that ride specifically. 3 additional tips about the virtual queue. 1. Valkyria's virtual queue does not allow front row access. All of the other virtual queues offer standard seat selection as you merge into the station. 2. Times are easier to get the smaller your group is. If you're a solo rider, you can often see rides in times that larger groups cannot. 3. It goes by device, not park tickets. This means that anyone in your group can book a virtual queue on their phone. They pick a ride in group size. That means if you have 4 people, all 4 people can use their individual phones to book a different ride for the group. I spent 1.5 days at Liseberg this past summer on a busy weekend day, and I got nearly 60 rides, mostly thanks to the virtual queue. This included 22 on Helix alone. I really hope this service remains free in the coming years, as so many parks that have introduced free virtual queues have eventually made them paid-up charges. As it stands, this is currently my favorite skip-the-line service at any amusement park out there. So how should you tour the park? If I haven't made it clear already, use the virtual queue. If you arrive at park open, I recommend starting with Atmosphere. This ride is the slowest operations in the park due to the VR headsets, and it's the most notable ride excluded from the virtual queue. If you visit the park on a day when it gets dark, you absolutely want to prioritize a night ride on Helix. It is a breathtaking experience. You alternate between the darkened woods and the hill, and seeing the city lights during the highest points. The safest way to guarantee one is to get a virtual queue for late in the day, because the standby line will close early. And you may even get lucky and get a double ride. Because the queue had been cleared out, and it wasn't quite park closing time, the staff sent us around an extra time. On that note, the staff at this park is amazing. Not only are they efficient, but they are super friendly and cheerful. I have had nothing but pleasant interactions during my time there. The final thing to touch on is food. There are a ton of stands and eateries scattered about the park. The food I've had there has been okay to decent, not great. The lack of a standout food item or restaurant, in my opinion, is probably the biggest con with the park. It simply excels in every other area. So, do I recommend Liseberg? If I have not made it abundantly clear, absolutely. This is an exceptional amusement park. Between the unique atmosphere, deep ride lineup, and incredible operations, there is so much to love here. It is easily the best park in all of Sweden, and it's my favorite pure amusement park in all of Europe. How much time will you need? I think you can do everything in a full day given the park's long hours, especially if you efficiently use the virtual queue, but I like to have 1.5 days so I have plenty of time for re-rides. There are a ton of great attractions at this park. So those are my thoughts on Liseberg. What are your thoughts about this park? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review and guide, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.